Hi guys, I'm here to film a video for you today. Last night was a crazy rainstorm and thunder and lightning storm where I live. So I was having a wonderful sleep and then I got woken up by this crazy thunder and lightning. It literally sounded like I was gonna get a thunderbolt in my bed. I've never had like my windows rattling from thunder and lightning before. It was kind of scary. So I was kind of thinking maybe I should be in the basement, like hunkered down, just in case somebody gets like a lightning bolt in the roof. Is that a thing that can happen? I don't even know if that's a thing that can happen. But it was a little bit scary. So I just am a little bit sleepy this morning because I woke up a couple of times throughout the night. So I'm sorry if I'm not making a lot of sense today. I have my beautiful cup here. I'm trying to switch over from too much coffee to more juice and like Perrier water and stuff like that. So I'm finding that adding all the extra juice is giving me more vitamin C, and I'm hoping that'll help me from also not getting any colds. One thing that happens here a lot in the fall is that when it gets rainy and dark and the temperature changes very quickly, a lot of people get sick, myself included. So I'm trying really hard this year to up my immunity boosting everything, elements such as vitamins, juices, more fruits and vegetables, and just trying to get more sleep when there's not big crazy thunder and lightning storms. So what I did actually this week was New Comic Book Day came out and I got a huge haul of stuff. Like, holy crap. This was my haul. I was very excited because this was the 5th issue that came out in my last, I'm doing the 5th volume of Executive Assistant Iris. So I was very excited to pick up this issue. So I ordered both of the covers that came out. Super awesome, oh my gosh. And I cannot believe, actually, I haven't seen this one in real life. And this girl's booty, let me tell you. Her booty is like Kim Kardashian level on this cover. I was like, I could not stop staring at her freaking butt in this cover. I don't know about you guys, but I was like, damn, Iris has some booty on her. So it's bootylicious if you would like to get this variant cover. There you go. And then Donnie Tran did, this one was Donnie did, which I really love. I love the action, and it's got Mac in the corner, so she gets onto one of the covers too. So this is the final issue that comes out in my 5-issue run for Executive Assistant Iris in Volume 5. So if you haven't already had a chance to get these, I would definitely say it is something you have to kind of ask your local comic shop to order in. They don't seem to be shipping out too many copies of this. A lot of people have told me that when they wanted to read it, they had to ask for it to be ordered in. So I'm thinking it's one of those like specialty kind of local shop things where they don't typically order a lot of this one because Aspen isn't, you know, a huge, it's not like Marvel or DC, right? So you're not going to just have them on the shelf like your local Batman or whatever would be there. So anyway, I just wanted to tell you I'm very excited about this. Can't wait to see how it all looks in the final issue. I mean, I've already gone through and I end up seeing them a ton of times when I have to do through digitally anyway. They send me the sheets where I have to go over and just double check it and do all the editing and make sure everything looks right. So I've already seen it a bunch of times digitally, but being able to hold it in your hands is another issue. And there's still that thrill that I get every time I go to the comic store and I see one of my comics on the shelf. There is this feeling I can't even describe. It's so exciting, and that's one of the reasons why I go and actually buy my own comics. You know, I don't have to because they do end up sending me comps, which is like copies of the comic, but they come months and months later, and it's not as exciting as having it the day it comes out, right? So yeah, that's part of the thrill for me, is going and getting to check it out on the shelf. So I just thought I'd show you guys what else I got. So other than this, which has been, Iris has been a wonderful experience of being able to work with such an incredible team. I really enjoyed Donnie Tran. Now there's some interesting side notes I want to tell you about Donnie. So when I went to Fan Expo, I was having a chat with Peter and Frank, and they were telling me about how they found Donnie, and you know, he came up to them with a portfolio, and you know, a lot of people approach Aspen at the cons with their portfolios asking, you know, can you give give me an evaluation. Would I ever be able to work for your company? Stuff like that. So he came up to them, I think it was a year or two ago, and at the time he was a full-time dentist. He's a dentist by trade. So they were like, oh, okay, well, would you have time and opportunity to even do like working on, a full-time comic? They didn't know. So he ended up giving up his dental practice because he was so committed to wanting to be a comic book artist, which I think is hilarious. Like, you don't find that very often in this industry where someone has completely finished an entire other career and then, they end up going back and wanting to do something like, working in comics. And I guess I shouldn't say that because I did have a separate career in insurance, which wasn't really a career, I guess. I don't know. It kind of was, but it was just really boring. Not as in depth or anything as being a dentist, that's for sure. So anyway, back to my Donnie story. So he started working on Iris, and at the beginning, he was very meticulous and very slow. And he had very clean lines, and they were like, wow, his stuff is coming in, it's very clean, it looks classic, and it's really great, but it's very slow for him to produce a page. So they started getting really worried, like, oh my gosh, it's taking him so long to produce this artwork, we're gonna have to get him to speed things up. So they brought him in and had a chat with him, and they were kind of showing him areas where, like in things like in the background, he didn't have to fill in like every single detail, and not every face had to be like have a different expression, and he was putting so much into his the pencils for the sequential art. They were just like, this is too much. So then he went the other way. So he started getting the pages coming in really, really, really quickly. And they were like, oh my gosh, now he's like 100% gone the other way, and he's like not putting enough detail in. So then they had to kind of find that middle ground with him, and they finally did. And I think it was around issue 2 when he started just meeting that stride where he was producing great work in a good amount of time, and they were just so thrilled with it. And I've been so happy with Donnie. Working with different artists is one of the interesting things about when you write comics. You never know kind of like what kind of art you're going to get back. And when I worked on Fathom last year, Marco was an Italian artist that they had, Marco Renna, and he was so fast, like probably the most fast artist they said they've ever worked with. So I was used to that pace of just seeing pages every 2 days, because he was just so quick. So when we switched over to doing Iris and it was getting used to working with Donnie, it was a whole different kind of progression because he was submitting like a page a week. So it's just every artist is different, and I think that's part of managing the project. They have to manage the writer, like I have to get the work in, and then they have all the artists who are on board doing the pencils, and then they have inkers, colorists they have to manage, and on top of that, sometimes they do variant covers, so they have other artists who are working on things to get them back. So there is a lot to look after to get these out on certain dates and to make sure it all comes together. But overall, working with this team has been wonderful. I've also had kind of 2 editors this time to work with Vince and Gabe Caruso. So that's been interesting, having 2 editors. It gives you kind of more perspective, and you get more feedback, and sometimes there's more things maybe to tweak, I want to say. Like somebody will say, well, this might work better or that might work better, and then you kind of have to take it and make it your own. So it's been very interesting, and I've loved working with this team, and I'm looking forward to the next project with Aspen. So that's been awesome. So anyway, this is just me rambling on about my experience here working with Aspen and with the executive assistant Iris out. I'm just kind of reflecting on, this run of comics and how great it's been and what I've learned. And I've really enjoyed this character as well. I'm actually really looking forward to doing the Visions, is what they've decided to call the Aspen Elseworld series that I'll be doing in January, February, and March. And one of those issues will also feature another one with Iris. So I'm really excited to have another chance to write Iris. And also one will be with Aspen, and another one will be the characters in Soulfire. So yes, so anyway, that is what has come out today. So the other things that I ended up grabbing this week, which were really exciting for me to see, was also, so Fathom is also out. And I love this run of Fathom as well. This one is being written by Ron Mars. So both of these covers, so Sia is the one who is doing the interiors for Fathom, and she is incredible. I saw some of her original work actually when I was with her in Toronto, and she was telling me how much fun she's having doing Fathom this year, working on the new volume. I'm just trying to figure out who did this cover. This cover I don't believe is Sia, but I forget who did this one. But also it's all being colored by Peter Steigerwald, and he's having a blast doing it as well. He said he loves to do, you know, all the underwater scenes, and Sia's artwork is just incredible. So like I'm looking at this one, oh my gosh, it's just incredible. All the detail with the background, the lighting with the jellyfish. I mean, the way that her hair just kind of like floats out around her. I love the way Sia does hair and clothing and accessories. She's just really detailed, and it just looks wonderful. So anyway, I had to pick these up. These are two more that are out this week for Fathom. So this is issue 3 they're on for the new run of Fathom. I don't know if anyone else is also reading it, but I just thought I would let you know that. The other thing that I had to pick up, because now that my Vampirella is going to be coming out for the Halloween special, I am super excited to see what else Dynamite has for their Vampirella series. So this one was on the shelf, which I was excited to pick up. This is the one of the variant covers, but it's an issue 1, so I was really excited to get this. And I know Anthony had been telling me, Anthony Marquise, who's one of the editors at Dynamite, he was just telling me about how they were going to have like a whole bunch of covers for this one coming out. So I wasn't sure if I would actually be able to grab it, and I got one. There was like 2 left on the shelf, so I was really excited to see this. It's an incredible cover. Wow, I don't know who did this one. Sometimes it's hard to tell, you have to like open them up, but I really love the way they have her. She's so powerful, and even in this stance, I mean, they don't leave anything to the imagination. These girls are putting it all out there. They're warriors. To me, this is very Frazetta-esque. I'm just trying to see if I can tell who did this cover. Jay Anceletto and Rain Berardo. Okay, I don't know who they are. But this was the cover that I was able to get. It looks incredible. I love it. So I'm gonna definitely be picking up some more Vampirella. And yep, so I got this one. The other thing I got, which I was excited to, is I've been reading the Justice League Dark Knight series. So this is the 3rd one that just came out. And this one, I think it said Capullo was doing it. I don't know if he did this cover though. I'm always like, is this like a special cover that says variant cover? So I don't know who did this one. Anyway, I'm excited to read. I read the first 2. They were really, really interesting. I love the dark kind of like magical effects. It's kind of like a little bit more dark, and you know, having the extra magic elements kind of like incorporated into it, I thought were great. So I'm excited to keep reading this and see where it goes. Capullo is amazing overall as well when he's doing the interiors. So the artwork is always phenomenal. I mean, DC, you can't really go wrong with that. So I got that one. And the other one that I picked up, which I haven't been reading, but I was really excited to give it a try, is this one by Cullen Bunn. It's called Bone Parish. And I thought that the cover was just grabbed me right away. I love this like sugar skull makeup, and I think that it is just so impactful. It really reminded me actually of the Joe Benitez and Peter Steigerwald work they did for Lady Mechanica. And just the detail that goes into that, the level of doing the mask and the look on her face, it's just very powerful. So I had wanted to pick this up. This is the 3rd one though, so I wasn't able to get the first 2, so I hope I'll be able to follow the story. But Boom Studios is putting this one out, so I thought I would grab that and give it a go. And the last one that I got, this was like my huge haul week, oh my goodness, was Jim Henson's Labyrinth. So I have a couple of these, so this is number 7, and I have, I think, the first 5. I missed 6, and now I have 7. So I haven't had a chance to read them. They're all kind of piling up on my desk. I need to do like a serious kind of sit down and go through and just read a ton for like a day. Like have like a date with my comics. I think that's what I'm gonna do probably this weekend, and just have a couple hours to just focus and read and really get back into all my comics. I'm really excited about that. So I'm interested to hear, what do you guys have on your pull lists? Do you still go and have like a pull list at a comic shop? Are you doing more like Comixology? I know some people are really fan of everything being digital now because it's so easy and instant. Or do you prefer to have like the actual physical copies? Like, let me know, what do you guys do for your comics and what are you reading? I'm interested to hear that as well. If there's any really great, volumes or story arcs you're following, let me know. Any cool writers or new artists that are inspiring you or exciting you, I'd love to hear all that. So make sure, like, when you let me know, either in a private message or in a message below, try to let me know what you think of any new comics that are around, because I'd love to hear. Okay guys, I hope that you are having an awesome week, and we will be chatting again soon. Bye for now.